Good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday. I'm in the kitchen and I am asking my son to lower his voice, please. He is in an upstairs office because he's here um, because we had some meetings. Anywho, happy Friday, y'all. So I'm not in my office, I'm in the kitchen because I love this light in the kitchen window. And so it's a dreary, cloudy morning, and the light is still good. I was envisioning streams of sunbeams coming in when I set this up last night or when I tested it. And this morning I woke up and it was dreary, and I was like, I will not be defeated by some rain clouds. No, we are still streaming live from the kitchen. And I also love it because I'm standing up. And so I just have more energy. Sitting in my office behind my desk where I work, 10 hours a day, very much feels like work. So always want this environment to be different because it doesn't feel like work. This is just so much fun and gratifying for me. Good morning, Tony Jackson. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining me. Good morning, Nidella, Yaya Roth, She Jam, Cookie 829. Good morning, everyone. So last week, I had issues with seeing the Instagram feed. So I was watching another YouTuber, and she was looking at the feed from her phone so she wouldn't have to go back and forth. And I was like, I'm going to try that. I'm going to do that. So we got a lot to talk about this morning. First, I want to touch on tips. We talked about this about 4 months ago, and I also have a YouTube vlog on winter hair care tips. But it's still really cold in a lot of places. It's cold in Houston. I mean, I think the chill factor right now it's like 34, but it feels like 24 because it's really windy. And so just on a high level, winter hair care tips. Obviously, most of the time you're going to be wearing a hat, but if your hat is not satin or silk lined, wrap your hair in a silk or satin scarf, then put your hat on, because those cotton, wool, yarn, any other type of fiber is going to dry your hair out and give you split ends. The other is conditioning. Deep condition a lot, more than you think you need to. I deep condition every Saturday. Saturday is typically my wash day. And I deep condition the Maison 276 3-step system. I use the Restore conditioner because it is also designed and formulated to be not just a leave-in or rinse out, but also a deep conditioner. And so I use that with a heated cap. And if you watch the YouTube vlog on winter hair cap tips, there's a link to the cap that I use. And I sit under that cap for about 30 to 45 minutes. So covering your hair, lots of deep conditioning, also using a lightweight serum, from time to time between shampoos to keep those flyaways down, coat those ends so they don't become split. And then another tip is if you have a humidifier in your home, the heated air, it's comfortable, obviously, but it's also very, very dry. And so if you have a humidifier, use that humidifier for a few hours in the rooms that you spend most of your time to just infuse a little bit of moisture into the air. So that's our quick recap on taking care of your hair during these harsh winter months. But so let me guys know if you have any questions. Like I said, there is a full, good morning, Stephanie, Joe Gray. There is a full vlog on YouTube, and it's only like about 15 or 20 minutes. Most of my vlogs are not long, where I go into a lot of more detail on how to take care of your hair for the harsh winter weather. Okay, as promised, you guys know I've been talking about doing live coffee with angels. So the first location is about to be announced. Now, first, let me say, choosing these locations is really around my travel schedule. I have a lot of travel. I've been doing a lot of travel, and I've got a lot of travel coming up. And so I'm literally looking at my schedule, seeing where am I going to be, and let's do a meetup. So our first meetup, I'm going to tell you the city, and if you're interested, then send me. If you have my email address, you can email me. You can DM me on any the platform that you're on, YouTube, or Instagram, and DM me if you are in this city, and then I'll reach out to you and give you the date and the location. So our first meetup, y'all, is going to be in New York City. Yay! It's so cold there. It's so cold, and it stays cold in New York for a long time. I spent a lot of time in New York for Maison 276, so much so that there are people that I will run into from time to time when I'm there who actually think I live in New York. That's how much time I spend there. So I'm going to put this in the chat. Let's see. So let's see first, in person. I wish I could have these queued up already, but you can't. I don't think. NYC. Please DM me if interested. Okay. And so the intent of the in-person coffee with angels are just like these virtual ones. It's just an opportunity for us to sit, chit chat, for you to ask questions, for me to ask you questions, because this is never meant to be a monologue. They're going to be very intimate. So it's very limited seating. I wanted to feel like a bunch of girlfriends just sitting around having coffee, chit-chatting about whatever you want to talk about. I can neither confirm or deny that some special announcements won't be made. I'm just saying, but you got to be in the room. What's the Hamilton, in the room where it happens? Yeah, Google it if you don't know what I'm talking about. But it's one of my favorite songs from the Hamilton musical. So yes, I'm in New York. Again, if you're interested, DM me, and then I will give you the date, time, and location. We're not just putting it out here on the World Wide Web. Because this is for the Maison 276 community. I am so excited. This is going to be one of many over the course of the year, and just going forward, period. I haven't done an in-person event in a long time, so I'm really, really, really looking forward to it. We're going to have a good time. Very casual, like I said, nothing fancy. I promise you, nothing fancy. Just a good time. So how are you guys doing? If you just joined me, or sometimes I hop on and I do not even introduce myself because I am so busy saying good morning to everybody, and just saying hi, good morning, Mary, homegirl here with my coffee. Yes, I'm coming to New Orleans. Y'all know I'm coming home. I just left home for the Super Bowl. I've been home twice already in the last 3 months. So that's going to happen. So New Orleans, I got you. Okay, don't worry about that. I'm coming home before Essence Fest. I'm going to be home before Essence Fest, but we're definitely going to do an Essence Fest event. But I digress. So if you're just joining me, welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, Tammy. I just announced my first in-person Coffee with Angel location is going to be in New York City. If you are in that area, if you're in New York, please DM me if you're interested in attending, or if you have my email address, I will put it in the chat if you're interested in attending, and then I can give you the date, time, and details, and then you can let me know if you're available. There we go. Good morning, sister girl. Good morning, Stephanie. Y'all are here this morning. Good morning. So I am Angel Cornelius. I'm the founder of Maison 276 and the creator of the award-winning three-step system for silver, gray, and blonde hair. It's a healthy way to brighten, cleanse, and rejuvenate the natural brilliance of your hair without the use of purple dyes. I've had silver hair all my life. When my mother found my first silver strand when I was a little girl growing up in New Orleans. And so I always struggle with the purple shampoos. And so I just decided at 57, I was going to try to find a solution on my own. And so I really didn't intend to start a company. The true story, many of you know, but some you may not. I never intended to start a company. I was just creating a product for myself to solve a personal pain point, and my friends harassed me to make enough beauty products for them. And I am obviously very grateful for that push. Is now I have a whole new community of friends and girlfriends, literally from coast to coast. So that's the 2-minute who is this person that's talking to me with white hair, and what is Maison 276? The brand name is inspired by my New Orleans roots. Maison, French for house. 276 is the street address of the house where I grew up. I know, Sister Girl Chronicles, I know we need travel size. I know. Let me tell you, everything that you ask for, every recommendation, every suggestion, I hear you. They are duly noted, and in due time, it's coming. But I know the travel sizes. I know. So what that means, what I need to do is go on Amazon and find, in the interim, some great travel size bottles that I can recommend, that you put your stuff in, that you put your Maison 276 products in. The Revive Serum is travel friendly. That's a small 1 ounce serum. The number 8 Botaniques is 4 ounces. If you know who the TSA agent is, you never really know. But definitely will give you guys some recommendations on how to create travel sizes of your Maison 276 3-step system, especially because summer is coming and I know y'all gonna be on vacation. I'm gonna be working, but I know y'all gonna be on vacation. So let me hop on over here to Instagram. Y'all quiet this morning. Mama Licious. I love that. I love that. So if you're just joining, all of the Coffee with Angels are loaded to YouTube afterwards. So you can catch what we talked about earlier. We first talked about, I revisited some tips on how to take care of your silver hair during the harsh winter months. And actually those tips work for everybody. It's really color and texture agnostic. How to take care of your hair during the harsh winter months. Those tips work for everyone. I announced the first in-person location is going to be New York City for Coffee with Angel. DM me if you're interested. And today's topic, I want to know, when was the last time you really, really stepped out of your comfort zone? And what did you learn when you did it? Okay, I'm typing it in. Okay. When was the last time you stepped out of your comfort zone? And I want y'all to be thinking about it. Instagram, y'all are quiet. I want to see something in the chats. What did you learn? Okay, let's hear it. I feel like, honestly, as an entrepreneur, I live my life outside the comfort zone. And I just thought of that, but I didn't just think of the question, but I feel like I live my life outside of my comfort zone. It every single day forces me to stretch myself emotionally, particularly emotionally, strategically, creatively. Like all the things. But what did I learn? What have I learned? I have learned that if I can start a company at 57, that there is nothing any of you cannot do. And not only start a company in an industry that I had no experience in. Most of my professional career is in project management and healthcare administration. But what I want you to know is that by the time you have turned 50, 60, and beyond, you have amassed such an amazing lifelong toolkit that is applicable in so many different ways that you cannot even imagine. And I am just speaking from personal experience, because if at 57 you had told me I would be where I am now at 65, I could not, I wouldn't have seen it. I'll just be honest with you. I wouldn't have seen it. Which is why you just have to keep moving and moving and growing and learning. Not, you can call it failure, but it's learning and learning. And so that's what I learned. I learned I actually do have the tools that I need, the experiences of an entire lifetime that's not finished, are enough. You are enough. And that is enough to take you to the next stage of your life, whatever that is. And even if you don't know what that is, you are so well equipped, so well equipped. Oh, I love it, Andrea. I'm going to post, when did you step out of your comfort zone and what did you learn? She said when she and her husband started a drama ministry and she began writing plays for the drama ministry. Wow. And I bet you were not like an English teacher or a drama teacher, because otherwise that would have been in your comfort zone. What a creative pivot. I love that. What are y'all talking about over here on Instagram? Let me see you in the comments. When was the last time you stepped out of your comfort zone? And what did you learn? Why was it so uncomfortable? And what big scary thing was not unrealized? Because oftentimes we create monsters. We create the big scary thing that might happen, and so often it does not. And we talk ourselves out of amazing experiences. And I'm preaching to myself now, because we envision something being so insurmountable, and really all I had to do was just try. Just living life at 60. I love it. Good morning. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you for subscribing. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I appreciate you. Welcome to the Maison 276 community. We are a community for everyone, every woman who is unapologetically growing bolder. And your name, just living my life at 60, tells me that is exactly what you're doing. Sister Girl Chronicles, thank you so much for sharing. She says she was an educator for many years, and then after retiring, created a travel and wellness blog. I have to write, but pitching to brands and marketing myself is way outside of my comfort zone. Honey, we can have a Zoom call if you want, because I understand. I really do. And the thing is that, like, it's not because you're a shy person. It's just that you're just accustomed to just doing the work, and the work is going to speak for itself. And what I found as an entrepreneur is that it's not just the work. Like, you actually have to promote yourself. And that was one of the hardest things that I am continuing to learn how to do. So it is, get comfortable with being uncomfortable, but do it anyway. One of my favorite things to say, do it scared, do it nervous, do it scared, do it anxious, but just do it. That is awesome. And thank you for sharing that, because that is, for many entrepreneurs, a very common struggle. It's not the thing that you're creating, It's the now I've got to take a microphone and tell everybody about the thing that I'm creating and why it's so great. Like, I just want you to see that it's great. Like, can't you see that it is? So self-promotion is not something that comes natural to most people, but it is definitely something you got to learn how to do. And you're going to be fine. You are going to be fine, because it's like anything, any other new muscle. The more you do it, the stronger the muscle gets. But, I am an open book. If you want to have a little quick Zoom meeting, absolutely. Oh, S. Malone, you nailed it on. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. She said, we can be our own worst critics. Right. It's all in our mind. You got to look at the situation as the glass half full and not half empty. Absolutely. And that is, I will say, I am an optimist. Like, I am always going to try to find some type of upside in a struggle. And sometimes that's hard to do. I understand. But if nothing else, we become stronger and realize, if I survive that, whew, okay, I can make it. These are great. Thank you guys so much for sharing. I appreciate it so much, because I think the value of our community. Good morning. I am Mary Solis. Long time no see. The value of our community is that we are willing to share. That is really what this platform is about. Obviously, I want to bring value to you when I come to you, but the thing that brings me the most joy is when you guys are willing to share your own experiences, because that's what this is all about. We can learn from each other. We don't have to reinvent the wheel all the time. Great. So the topic, if you're just joining us today, is, when was the last time you stepped out of your comfort zone and what did you learn? So we've got lots of, people starting drama ministries, starting writing plays, starting travel vlogs, and coming from completely different industries. I feel like we need to come up with another word for retired, because it so is not indicative of how we are really living our lives, right? You're pivoting. You're starting a new chapter, but more often than not, what I am finding is that y'all ain't retired. You're just doing something else on your own time, And I especially love what Steph S. Malone said. We can be our own worst critics because we imagine an obstacle and something, this horrible thing that may happen if we take that leap of faith. And oftentimes it doesn't. That doesn't mean you're not going to come against challenges and struggles. And no, that it doesn't mean that. But often the worst case scenario that we have envisioned, that actually doesn't happen. Great. I love this conversation. Also, if you're just hopping in late, Coffee with Angel, I will upload the full episode at the end up on YouTube. We've talked about how to take care of our hair during the harsh winter months. There's a full vlog on YouTube, but we did some high level reminders of what we need to be doing. The first in-person Coffee with Angel location has been announced. It's going to be New York City. If you're interested in joining me, it's going to be a small, intimate gathering. We're not renting out a big public space. It's going to be a small, intimate gathering at a cafe. We're going to have a great time just chit-chatting and doing all the stuff we're doing here, but in person. How New York City? Because that's the next place I'm traveling to that I'm going to be in long enough to actually have a Coffee with Angel. But that's how I'm choosing the locations. I'm really just like, where am I traveling to? So thank you guys so much for all these great tips. And I'll tell you something else that I learned when I stepped out of my comfort zone. I told you I feel like I live outside of my comfort zone as an entrepreneur. But not only did the thing I imagined not happen, I the process and the activity was so much more fulfilling than I ever imagined. Like I was doing it to check a list that I knew I had to, a thing that I had to do. And it wound up being so much fun. And that is starting these Coffee with Angels, the YouTube channel. Like I did it because I knew I needed to put some content out. Silver, what was happening is I was spending so much time answering emails. Like if you send me an email, I'm going to respond. And, the emails are often about how to take care of your hair. And while I did have like a lot of like stock answers, because many of the questions are the same, but I would customize it to that person's particular question. And oftentimes, if you've ever sent me an email about a hair care issue, I followed up with more questions, because before I give you advice, I really want to know the specifics of, what are you currently doing? What types of products are you using? And then I would look at those products and just see, okay, this is why this isn't working for you. So really in depth. And it got to the point like that wasn't scalable. I was spending, in addition to running the company, I was literally spending hours a day answering customer emails, which I loved. But again, I realized like that wasn't sustainable. And so I realized I had to take that advice and put it on a platform where it could live for, 20, 30 people, as opposed to the one person I was answering. Well, I think my biggest vlog to date has like 130,000 views, which is mind-boggling to me. But that's actually why I started the YouTube channel. It was to take all of that information that I was giving people every day in emails and put it out there for everyone to see. And then, not just the people who had questions, but, also just other women in general who think that there's something wrong with their hair as they mature. And it's only because no one's ever told you that your hair is just like your skin. It changes as we age. And nobody really talks about that. So what began as something kind of like a work thing I needed to do has really just become a area of personal enjoyment and fulfillment for me, because I get to engage at scale with so many amazing women. And the Maison 276 community has continued to grow. And so, that's what I learned. Not only was the big scary thing not what I had made it up to be in my mind. Now, don't get me wrong, it is a lot of work, but it's scalable. And I learned that the thing that I thought was just going to be a task has actually become a source of personal fulfillment. So that's it. That's my story. Okay, guys. I created, oh, awesome. I was wondering, like, where are the comments? Oh, from Instagram. Instagram must be running slow today, y'all. Mary Solis, New York City. Hoo-hoo. Okay, Mary, DM me if you're interested. Email me. My email is angel@maison276.com, and I'll give you the details, and then you can decide if that works for your schedule. Nidella says she stepped out of her comfort zone when she became an entrepreneur, like so many women. Oh, I love this. She says she was an unrealistic nurturer, and she had to learn how to focus on herself. Not selfish, just self first, which I love. And I have some of those shirts and the sweatshirt. But so that I love that, Nadella, because you created something again think really from a personal pain point, and then realize I can take this solution that I created for myself and I can scale that to help other women. So I absolutely love that. Oftentimes, we think we're the only one experiencing something, and more often than not, we're not. We're not the only ones. But our experiences and being willing to share that with others can be an incredible blessing to people. So thank you, Nadella, for sharing that. Good morning, Bob and Maria. Good morning from California, I believe. So I hope all is well. Okay, guys. I always say Coffee with Angel is just enough time to grab your first morning brew. This has been such a great conversation. If you're just joining us, all of the Coffee with Angels are uploaded to YouTube afterwards. And I'll put the YouTube channel here. Angel Cornelius. Y'all, I had to put my glasses on. I mess around and spell my own name wrong. Oh, absolutely. And YouTube. Okay. Okay, so you can catch the full replay of not just this Coffee with Angel, all of them over on YouTube. Just to wrap up, we talked about high level, how to take care of your hair during the winter months. We talked about the first in-person. I announced the first in-person Coffee with Angel is going to be in New York City. If you're interested, please DM me and I will send you the date and time. And if you're available, I'll send you the location. It's going to be an intimate gathering, so limited seating. But I really look forward to seeing you guys and chit-chatting and just having a good time in person. Let's see what else. And today's topic was, when was the last time you stepped out of your comfort zone and what did you learn? Thank you guys so much for sharing. I appreciate you so much. And I will see you next Friday. Yes, I will be in New York. That's not when the get together is, but the next virtual Coffee with Angel is actually going to be from New York next week. So I will see you guys next week. Have an amazing weekend. Thank you so much for joining me and being a part of the Maison 276 community. Have a great day. Bye. Oh, thank you, Mary. I'll see you in New York.